Hello, welcome all. I'm Normal Player Guy, and hey, we gotta check out this video. So there are three Earthlings EZAs that have come out. We have the Tech Bulma, we have this Tech Jackie Chun, and we have the SDR Yamcha. All are free to play. All are actually pretty great, actually, in what they do. So we'll have a quick look at them. We'll have a look at Bulma. I covered her a little bit when I was checking out STR LR Bulma, which is a pretty decent unit in its own right. But this one, I seem to think that this one could actually be some pretty great. I mean, we got this here, which would be really, really nice at certain times. She does have a ridiculous amount of start of turn defense, but again, it's not exactly the worst amount, but then again, it's free to play. So we'll have a quick look at her, and then we'll go into the rest. So Peppy Gals is 77%, or Tech Type's 50%. Honestly, if you had Peppy Gals going through like the stories or the events for like free to play or like brand new people, rather, shall I say, that's absolutely fine because all these stories were not designed around the category. So even having something like this is more than enough. So let's have a look. So what does she have at base? So prior to base, there were no stats at the start of turn, but she had a great chance to reduce damage received by 50%. Great, except the fact that there were no start of turn stats. Here we go now, and we have 177. That's pretty decent. So randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow. It looks like that one. Yeah, it looks like that one is new. So the only thing that it is now she gets an extra 10,000 HP plus an additional 77% attack per rainbow key sphere obtained, and she is a rainbow warp changer. Now, you wouldn't personally use her for the attack because, again, now it's pretty fair to say you run her at 100% because she's free to play. In fact, she has her own exclusive potential orbs. But coming in at just under 12,000 attack, realistically, you don't use her for attack. But coming in at 20,000 H, well, 18,000 HP, 20,000 HP, whichever you want to highball it there. So coming in at 18,000 HP per rainbow key sphere is pretty decent. Now, if this was attack and defense per rainbow key sphere, yeah, then we're talking. And of course, this has now gone from 50% to 77%. You have a great chance of reducing damage. So 70% chance to reduce damage by 77%. That's actually really, really jazzy. So super attack, you get a 30% buff in defense with a 50% chance to stun the enemy. In base, that was about it. So actually, she got a hell of a lot more. And yes, at SA10, you launch a super when key is 9. Now, there's no key in the passive, so that really helps out. Let's see what you get in terms of links. So, Battlefield Diva, you do get 3 keys, so a good chance there. Solid Support, Brainiacs, Incredible Adventure and Gans of the Dragon Ball, you will get 3 key from that. Scientist is 2 key and Shattering the Limit is 2 key. Well, Shattering the Limit, Battlefield Diva, and sure, depending on what you're running on, DB Saga links could get you it. Who has Scientist? I'm curious. Right, so in terms of Peppy Gals, you won't be running these two because they share the same name. So realistically, Scientist is only going to be run on Peppy Gals. Now you see, let's have a look. I would imagine that her best team is DB Saga, Earthlings, or Peppy Gals. And sure enough, she's on DB Saga, Earthlings, and Peppy Gals. Youth, Earthbred, and Dragon Ball Seekers. Alright, so for these two in pink, you wouldn't strictly use them. The reason being is these teams are already incredibly well stacked. Yamcha, or Goatcha, as you want to call him, leads this. And of course, there are plenty of others from across like GT, which helps Dragon Ball Seekers. But for sure, DB Saga, Earthlings, who has an extreme super battle road, and Youth would be really, really handy, and Peppy Gals. But yes, Earthlings as well, getting a few buffs because these three we're going through will qualify as Earthlings, so they're getting quite a nice buff. So all in, it's actually pretty decent. There are no key in the passive, but at the same time, you could probably easily get it out based on what you get, because these guys down here, or these girls rather, should I say, they will probably share something like the Incredible Adventure with Battlefield Diva and maybe Shattering the Limit. Coming in with Kichichi, you have all three. Rocking into what's 3 key, you're going to get 6, you're going to get 8 key, and she supers at 9. and you're going to be coming in with what, 6 already? That's pretty great. Launch, coming in with launch, same thing again. You're going to come in with 8 keys. So again, coming in with Earthlings, coming in with Peppy Gals, ain't going to struggle too much. And then, of course, DB Saga. So she will surprisingly fit in rather well. If this works, you will be able to get a pretty decent tank. Now let's have a look at their stats. So coming in at 8,600, so it's nothing really to smile about. But the fact that you'll be able to get some support, this girl in particular can give, what is it, like 120% defense. So she can give a lot of support. There's a lot of these various links, like, let's have a look. So let's see, is it Incredible Adventure gives some stats, Shattering the Limit gives some stats, and yes, oh yeah, and Brainiacs can give some stats. So you factor all these in, you can get some slight buffs, perhaps with some more support, then perhaps with the great chance of reducing damage by 77%. That's not strictly a bad thing. You will probably find going in for Extreme Super Battle Road, DB Saga, Earthlings, well, in particular, Earthlings and Youth, that'll be really, really nice. So yeah, overall, not too bad. Pretty decent unit, and it's free to play. So really, there's really nothing there's nothing too wrong with this. Every weakness is kind of covered. Her super attack effect, you still get defense, and she has a 50-50 chance to stun the enemy. So you could theoretically go for pure additionals, only to maximize the pure chance of this. And every time you try and maximize the chance of this, you are still getting the buff. I suppose really the only thing that would help out is either she gave support or she had like a dodge chance. Because this unit is strictly purely defensive, and that is it. So you could have like maybe guard for the first turn. Maybe she has increased defense for the first few turns. Maybe she can give support, just something along those lines. But she's pretty decent. Okay, so we're going to go to STR Yamcha because he's a story event as well. Because Jackie Chun is from the Super Strike and he needs a different thing. So let's have a look. DB Saga 77% free key and STR types 50%. Same with Bulma. If you're brand new to the game, easy to get this guy. Now, you need basically DB Saga and World Tournament to actually be able to do the easy A's. So DB Saga, not the worst to come across. A blend of World Tournament would require you to do some World Tournament summons, might be a bit difficult. That being said, there's actually quite a few free-to-play units that could qualify for this that you can use in the story then. But regardless, so pretty decent and 100%. This one is not the same. Like you don't have exclusive orbs, so you will need to sink some STR orbs into this. So let's have a look. So 150% at the start of turn. Let's have a look at what they're rocking. Since it's free to play, it's fair to look at this. Actually has less defense and even has less start of turn. So let's see what he rocks out as. So 150%, but still no key. Okay. You get an additional 120% when performing the super attack, so already going to be miles better. Superclass allies 1 key, 20% defense. That's actually pretty jazzy. When there is a Peppy Gals category ally on the team, you get an additional 150% defense. Jesus. And starting from the 5th turn of the battle, you get an extra 2 key, 30% defense for superclass allies, and you launch an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack. Jesus. Guards all attacks when there is a Peppy Gals category ally in the same turn. Dude, what the actual hell? Wait. Because this might just legitimately be the best Yamcha. Because in terms of like Yamcha, because for example, there's one particular one where if you're against a Peppy Gals, I think it's this. Character will be stunned. You stun yourself when there is a Peppy Gal enemy. This is ridiculous. This would theoretically be the best Yamcha because it's an LR, right? It's got 20,000 attack. But remarkably, character will be stunned on the Peppy Gal's enemy. Like, irrelevant to that, this unit becomes a legitimate greatness for like DB Saga and Earthlings. Are you kidding me? So you get 150% plus you get this. But this actually is actually really nice. coming in with, well, basically the same. Yeah, okay, it's 110 less, but it's basically the same. So you're also giving this, which is what Bulma didn't get. But more importantly, you get 150% defense alone with the Peppy Gals on the team. And again, we check out like Earthlings. That's not shy. I mean, you can trigger. I mean, should we check out Bulma again? Because one of the best people she can link up with is said Yamcha. But you're going to be getting the 3 key. You're going to be getting 5 key. So that's not shy. You're going to be getting 7% of stats, 15% attack, 20% attack, 5% stats. I mean, honestly, it's really not bad. But not only that, from the 5th turn, so as events go on, 2 key 30% for all allies, basically bumping this to 3 key 50%. He's essentially 3 key 50% support for all superclass allies. It's ridiculous. And then, of course, he guarantees a super attack. No, guaranteed a normal attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack. In turn, greatly raises attack. No, you see, this is where he falls short. See, he does also guard all attacks when there's a Peppy Gals ally in the same turn. And that's very easy to do. But the only I see this, if this was greatly raised attack and defense, the fact that he guards, the fact that he supports, the fact that he gets this. So he gets this with guard, and it was greatly raised attack and defense. Actually, he'd be legitimately great. He'd be pushing quite close to 200k, actually. I mean, he'd probably top out at around 200k. But legitimately, like with support, legitimately could get around 200k, which could be utter ridiculous. So, rocking Flea, solid support, Infighter, Incredible Adventure, Gams of the Dragon Balls, and Shattering the Limit on quite a few teams. DB Saga, Earthlings, Earthbred, Dragon Ball Seekers, Movie Heroes, Worthy Rivals, and Bond of Friendship. Yeah, okay, Worthy Rivals, Bond of Friendship, and Movie Heroes, Dragon Ball Seekers. You ain't gonna rock them on, right? They're far too stacked in terms of a team. But DB Saga, Earthlings, well, yeah, no, DB Saga and Earthlings really. That's really the only place you can rock this guy. He's actually very, very great. It's curious how yeah, because it's Yamcha, of course. But this unit sucks, and until they have the easy A from the local world tournament pool, they're just gonna continuously suck. But like, could work well with this unit, who could be a legitimate tank, and this unit guards. And then you got like Chi Chi, who can give defense on support. I mean, could be really, really great. I mean, DB Saga's coming in really, really great. Actually, not too bad. And Earthlings. Earthlings has a few buffs. We'll check them out just coming up shortly. But legitimately, the best Yamcha in the game outside of the Dockenfest Int, who does basically everything. Outside of Dockenfest Int, he's the best Yamcha in the game. So we now have 2 runnable Yamchas. One's a Dockenfest, who is fantastic, very limited, very specific, but fantastic. And we got this guy who's runnable, but on DB Saga and Earthlings, because you need a Peppy Gals. It's ridiculous. Right, okay, so finally we have Jackie Chun. So this guy's a little bit different because he's a Super Strike. Meaning that he's Super Strike, his links are kind of the same. So you got like Super Strike and Bombardment, which automatically take away 2 of the links. Factoring in, you got something like World Tournament Champion, yeah. And again, yeah, you got the best unit in the game in Hercule. He's an absolute goat. But yeah, no, because this particular Roshi works well with STR units. He is on Super Tech, so granted, yeah, and maybe possibly get the better. But the thing is, he's likely to be the same name, but we'll see. So let's have a look at what he does. Because really, there aren't actually too many more that there is with this, because they're burning through these quite nice. So Tekken in types 3 key 70%. So realistically, this is for beginners. This is for anyone still doing the story, because this is perfectly fine. So you get 150% at the start of turn. What does he have? So he's coming in with just like, well, basically 10,000 defense, 14,000 attack. And it's fair to call him at 100% because he's totally free to play. So he is going to be way, way better in terms of the DB Saga and the Earthlings, right? Because he is, well, star turn defense and all of this, right? So he's going to be one of the better ones. So tech and int types, one key 30%. Okay, so we'll see what that can cover. That will also cover the Doc and Fest Yamcha, by the way. And it would also cover the Bulma we've just covered. And it would also cover the new Doc and Fest Goku, sure. So, one key, 15% to stats for all allies, and a 50% chance of guarding when there is another World Tournament ally in the same turn. On the same turn. So you have a high chance of guarding. An additional 150% defense and guards all attacks when there is a Turtle School category ally in the same turn. Alright, so that's pretty weird because yeah, that doesn't make any. That's a bit weird because you have a 50% chance to guard World Tournament, but there's Turtle School Ally. Now it is basically the Goku and Krillin category, but will find someone from the World Tournament in that. So you basically have guaranteed guard with a 50% chance to guard, which is weird. So an additional 30% attack up to 90%, and a chance of performing a crit 10% up to 30 with each attack performed. So coming in with 14,000 attack, coming in with 150%. What does he do in his super attack? Greatly raise attack and defense, seals the enemy, guarantees seal. That's good. So greatly raise attack and defense. He builds up attack. He has 150%. He gets. Okay, no, actually, he's pretty decent. Honestly, he's going to be hitting like somewhere between 2.5, 3 million. He's going to be hitting around 200k defense again. Probably more so without support. Might be a little bit higher with support. He's giving a little bit of a buff to tech and int in terms of the people. So the new int Yamcha will be qualified on this. You will work with the new Goku, work with the Bulma. You can actually run it alongside this guy because he's just called Master Roshi. So you will be able to work alongside him. He has the ridiculous, what is it, like something like stupid, like 690% attack. So again, buffing that by 15% is going to be ridiculous. There are a few legitimate people here that could work. This guy, as we just talked about, is going to be giving 20%, then gives basically 50% at the end of the game. So that could be really nice. Full Power Master Roshi could be a really good one, good for triggering a few links. Who does he get? Supreme Warrior, World Tournament Champion. So that could be quite a crucial one, and some DB Saga links. Best one is Full Power. Jackie Chun, Supreme Warrior World Tournament. They're both the DB Saga and Shattering the Limit. Okay, so Earthlings and DB Saga coming along quite nicely. In terms of Super Strike Easy A's, this is probably one of the better ones, right? So Tao came out quite recently as well. He was solid, but his partners were a little bit. There really isn't really another good one since. Well, actually, yeah, no. I mean, there's been a few good ones. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what they were. Hang on. You can be able to find from here. So Super Straight. Grandpa Gohan's a good one. Let's see. He's good, but depending on links. Frieza and King Cold are pretty decent. This guy, Kid Vegeta, can hit fairly, fairly hard. Trunks is fairly solid as well. Yeah, there are a few solid ones in here. I think Grandpa Gohan sticks out. Kid Vegeta sticks out. So there's only these four to do. Like Piccolo could be a really good one, and Vegeta could be a really good one. Yeah, okay. So overall, not so bad. Builds up attack. His attack is again 14,000. Not bad. But yeah. So overall, it's pretty decent. I do quite like how you'd be able to guard if there's a Turtle School ally. That is better as if you had guaranteed guard on a world tournament, because there's far better Turtle School allies in the same turn than there would be for world tournament. Only problem is, yeah, he's not on Turtle School, which is weird. He's probably the only reason he's probably not on it because it's Jackie Chun. It's not quite yet revealed. This is probably the very, very stupid reason why he's not on this. So you would strictly run him on World Tournament. Let's see. DB Saga, you can get a Turtle School. Earthlings, you can get a Turtle School World Tournament. Yeah. Earthbred, yes. So basically, and even accelerated battle if you must. So outside of planetary destruction and battle of the wits, you could probably find a space for him on this, which includes a Turtle School. Sure, I think this is a weakness that we don't have him on Turtle School, but I guess I see the reason why. So overall, Earthlings have had quite a decent one. We check out the Earthling category. So with the introduction of LR Bulma, I mean, actually, a lot has happened. Well, look, April 28th, which was, I mean, surprisingly, we're at, oh, what is it now? We're at the 21st of May. Good God. 21st of May. So within a month, we've had the two new banner units. We've had, uh, Tao has had his EZA, LR Bulma, and then these three. And not so long ago, only the other month in April, did we have Yamcha. So that was something. So there's been quite a lot recently. And this guy's had his EZA. It says 2017, but that's probably when this guy came out. His EZA for us, for global, was probably this year, right? Maybe late 2022, but I'm pretty sure it was 2023. Let me just double check that. I could be wrong. It is, when did he have his awakening? Yeah, 2023 hours, right. So within this year alone, and we're only 5 months in, there's been quite a lot, right? So that's pretty decent. A few Super Strike EZAs that buff Earthlings as well. So really, much like the Namekian category, which was quite solidly in the top 10 of the worst teams going, this may still be in the top 10, but may be in a better position outside of it. And DB Saga, same sort of deal. I can't quite remember if I had him in the top 10. I probably did. But again, with the introduction of these EZAs, with this LR, with this in particular Kid Goku EZA, this Path to Power Kid Goku's come out recently, these EZA, Super Strikes, you name it. I mean, when I did the video, I don't think these have their EZA, and I don't think Tau LR Tau have come out. So with that in mind, these are probably upped it a little bit. Chances are the top 10 worst units, worst categories, probably still are the worst, but they've improved a little bit. But there's a lot of overlap, like the entire top line. There's a lot of very similar support, right? It's only really like, let's see, yeah, it's this Krillin and this Yajirobe and this Tien who's realistically not on it. The new Yamcha is not on it as well. He's just on Earthlings. Ah, it's because he's DBZ, isn't he? He's DBZ against the Cybermen and Nappa, sure. So there's a fair amount of overlap, no doubt. But yeah, so altogether, these three are actually pretty decent. They're all free to play. It's great to do. Great tank. Pretty decent. Probably one of the best Super Strike units going. Great for a floater for like World Tournament, Earthlings, DB Saga. And legitimately one of the best Yamchas going outside the Docking Fest. He actually guards. There's addition. I mean, he's a fantastic buff. He has stats, right? The only thing going out for him is the fact that this guy here, he doesn't, his super attack effect not doing defense is the only real downside. But yes, that's it. So thank you very much for watching. That is going to be these three EZAs. They're all free to play. They're all out now. They've been out for a few days now. So everyone get going, everyone get grinding, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you very much, and bye bye.